everyone. Coach Sullivan here again with MJS Coaching Football. To my subscribers, I thank you, and non-subscribers, I'm really hoping to tease you into pushing that button. This past fall, I completed my 38th year coaching football, and I was a defensive coordinator, but over that time, I've also been an offensive coordinator, special teams coordinator, longtime head coach, and all of this at both the collegiate and high school levels. In this presentation, I want to talk to you about one of our prisoner games that we call Spider. Okay, so prisoner game, non-subscribers, I'll give you this one freebie, right? 4 people are involved, all 3 defensive linemen, and for us, the outside linebacker known as the Rover, who we have involved in some of our front packages. So when he is, and we call a prisoner game, he's involved, okay? So over here will be the key terms in order to understand the assignments and the techniques. Although the technique part I'll do more over here with the diagram, but even how we determine what side to run it to. Okay, what the looper in this particular case is reading, and in fact you'll see there are 2 offensive linemen who are in red. Okay, so that's a little unique, so I'll explain why that's the case, and that'll tie in with key terms and trying to make this nice and simple. What I have in the diagram is an odd front example on the top and an even front example on the bottom, in which the rovers are part of each front. Okay? All right, so let's get going. The number 1 term here is Spider itself. And so Spider is a prisoner game, which means 4 people involved, as I said. But this game has 3 penetrators and 1 looper. Okay? And there's no picking or anything like that. So what is the goal, the job of each particular penetrator, I'll get to. And then, again, the looper, why do we have 2 offensive linemen in red? So how do we determine what side to run it to? It's actually pretty easy. The lucky Ringo, that's to the rover. So as I've said numerous times, if the rover doesn't know who he is, we got bigger problems, right? So the rover makes the lucky Ringo, boom, done. So now, when it comes to the 3 penetrators, number 2, the defensive end to the call, we deal with him first. In this case, it's a Ringo example, so it's going to be the stunt. Okay, non-subscribers have to push the button. All right, so what the defensive end to the call is, he's going to stab B-gap. Okay, so again, the stab technique is on the snap of the football, they are penetrating upfield as hard and as fast as they possibly can. Okay, they're attacking the pass set of the offensive lineman, if you will. We just call it stab. It's the only time we use the term stab, and that's what it means. Penetrate the gap. So he's gonna stab B gap. Another penetrator, number 3, the nose, is going to stab A gap opposite the call. Okay? Opposite the call. So the hope is that he'll draw the attention of the center away from the side of the loop. Okay, as you'll see. Alrighty? So again, stab technique remains the same regardless of the defender. So then number 4, the third and the final penetrator, the defensive end opposite the call, so in this case the end is going to stab C gap and have outside cage. Okay? Stab C gap and have outside cage. So we got 3 defenders working hard and fast up the field, right? Attacking protection in the gap. So the one and only looper, number 5, is the rover. Okay? Rover. So he has, the reason we have 2 offensive linemen in red, he has an initial read and a secondary read. First, second. The initial read, the first read is the offensive tackle. Okay? And so what he's doing is this, in the snap of the football, as he's stepping up the field, if that offensive tackle's looking at him, facing him, that he's going to loop inside. we just say B to A, B to A, and that brings in his secondary read, which is the guard. Okay, so if the offensive tackle's to you, as you're looping inside, now you're going butt side of the guard, your second read. So if the guard's facing you, you're an A. If the guard's straight ahead or facing away, stay in B, hence B to A. That's why there's a first and second read. So then what do you do if on the snap of the football you step and the offensive tackle's not looking at you? Speed rush. Outside cage, baby. Get up there. There is no looper. Now we got 4 defenders vertically hard attacking upfield of protection. Okay? So that's what the first read's all about. Tackles to you, looping inside. Then you're going to read the guard. Tackles not to you, speed rush up the field. Okay, that's spider. So now over here, okay, out of simplicity, I'll start with the first penetrator, then the second the nose, then the third, and then I'll get to the rover, the looper. All right? Football snapped. Stab B gap, just get vertical. Stab A gap away from the call. Stab C gap, outside cage. So now the looper I'll do in blue. Okay? Tackle is straight back, so his eyes are not on the rover, or he's turned away. Speed rush, right? Now in green. Tackle's looking at you. That's the looping inside, and he'll automatically be butt side because the defensive end's stabbing the B gap. If the guard is looking straight ahead or away from you, stay in B gap. If the guard's looking at you, butt side would be into A gap, right? So if the guard's like this, you want to be rushing over here, right? Now you're rushing over here. That's the butt side rule. Okay, that's spider. So now over here, I'll just stick with the green. Okay, we've got an even front example. Just because the stud's in a 3 means nothing. Snap of the football. He's stabbing B gap. Nose is in the A gap away. Stab your gap. Stab C gap. Okay, step. Tackle's looking at you. Loop inside. Guard's looking at you. Get into A gap. There's spider. Switch to the black. Tackle is straight or looking away. Speed rush. I mean, there it is. First read tells you your course. Speed rush or loop. If it's a loop, your second read, the guard, tells you whether to be in B or in A. Hey, what do you say? We learned something about spider today. So as I said at the beginning, subscribers, I thank you. Non-subscribers, I hope I tease you into pushing that button. Everybody, please, questions, reach out to me at coachmjsullivan@gmail.com. Love to talk football with you. Want to thank you for watching MJS Coaching Football, and want to thank YouTube for providing this platform.